Hello and welcome back to Wren's Wasteland Review Camp Reviews slash Dumpster Fires of the Commonwealth. I'm filming this episode today, uh, well, for two reasons. One, I realized that I haven't really shown you guys um, what makes me qualified to judge someone else's camp. Um, I build in this game like everybody else does. I've been playing since the beta. When this game first came out. The only time that I really missed any time in this game was during a short time when I had surgery on my back, which was around the time of the original Halloween event. Um, because of that, and my back was really jacked up at that point, I really didn't play this game a lot during that time period, to be honest. I couldn't sit to do it. Um, or stand to do it, or do much of anything. Like I said, my back was really jacked up at the time. Anyway, so I'm going to show you one of my camps, just kind of to show you why I judge camps the way that I do. I, again, judge camps on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm taking you to this camp that is showing up on the screen right now in the load screen. That's one of my camps. Um, it's themed Brotherhood of Steel, and it is an airboat. Here it comes in now. This, by definition, is a floating camp in two ways. One, if you play this game long enough, what you're going to see is, if you've played it for an extended period of time, what you'll know what I'm talking about is, there are camps that use one foundation and a stairwell. And from that foundation, they go up and they build their camp off of that stairwell, like this, for instance. So this, by definition, is a floating camp. It is also a floating camp in the sense that it is in the water and looks like it's floating like a boat. Now, this area that I'm in has this boat here in the middle, and that's where I placed my camp, as you can see, to get the camp placed out here on the water. And then it's a matter of jockeying positions for that stone underwater to get the floors to be resting just above the water line. You want them to be just above the water line and not below it. This one is technically kind of iffy. If it's raining, sometimes you get the texture of rain on the interior floors because of the water line, because of the way they did the rain textures applying in this game. But overall, it's a decent camp. It looks like a Brotherhood of Steel fan boat. I've got it decorated out with, it's got two sets of gantry stairs, one on each side going up. And this is a standard set of stairs going up from here. This area here is your work area where you've got your shop, couple crafting stations, your bathroom, because every camp needs a bathroom. And as I said, a couple crafting stations. I've got a few mannequins set out, a few displays. As you can see, there's a mannequin over there in the dive suit that you get in the game. And right there is one of the power armor displays. It's the Brotherhood of Steel Captain or Commander set. I don't remember which. The Gare has decided that today is a good day to be naked and is walking around in her underwear because that's what happens in this game. I have built this using a few merges, and you can see some right here. For instance, this handrail is merged into the Brotherhood of Steel handrail, or guard platform technically. And as you walk around, you'll see the other power armor frame over here on display. You got your mess hall back here. Again, Degar's right here in her command area with some terminals to run this place. It's supposed to be a listening post, mobile listening post for the Brotherhood. We've got a few weapons and bunk beds. I tried to make it look, whenever I build in particular, I try to make it look, one, like it's functionally part of the Wasteland, two, like the person that built it cared enough to actually build something that they wanted to build that is themed in a way to make it give it a level of uniformity. I know not everybody does that, but at some point I decided, and God, I hate that sink, but it's the only one that doesn't show through the floor.
Sometimes I
These
think
two over here are bedrooms, and these
I
tables,
woke up
again, you can
in a
get from the
pile
Brotherhood of Steel
of
quest line.
smoldering debris.
I have a little bit of a collection here,
And I
not
met someone,
much.
a stranger. And over
Daguerre's
time,
downstairs
well,
giving us her life story about her
that
headaches
stranger isn't a stranger
and
anymore at all.
wanting to be my girlfriend
I
and
don't
everything.
believe in luck or
So,
fate or any of that. But
anyway,
I do know that I wouldn't
the
change
idea
it
with
for
this place is that you are in a
First
boat that is ran by
mutants,
the Brotherhood of
now
Steel. It has
scorched.
weapons on it to
What
protect it.
is this
It's
wasteland
themed out
coming
pretty
to?
well. It's far from perfect. It's better than a lot of things that a lot of people build. If you're wondering why there's so little decoration on it, it's because I literally maxed the budget putting what's in here. Um, I could throw down a shelter, but in all honesty, I don't really need one at this location. And I have another version of this on another character that has one underwater that is kind of like a museum of all the crap you can pick up in this game. But yeah, this is what kind of my forte is. I build builds that you know, look like they belong in this game. Not necessarily junky,
I am not
but
mad.
if you think
I
about it
am
and you
just
were logically
disappointed.
coming from a vault and you could build anything you wanted and you had the ability to construct anything you wanted, why the hell would you live in a junk pile? I mean, I know everybody's like, well, that's Raider themed, and I'm like, no, what would be Raider themed is to find an existing structure and turn that into a Raider themed, or build like it's an existing structure and then convert it to a Raider theme. You know, make it look like it actually belongs here. But not everybody thinks that way, and I totally get that, and I totally understand that there are a large variety of other builders out there that do really awesome builds that are themed in those ways. That's just not what I do. But I do understand the difference. I know how to build in a way that most people don't. I know a lot of tricks on building, like I can build practically up a vertical surface or on uneven terrain better than probably anybody you'll ever meet, because I know how to do it in a way that makes it, one, easy, and two, um, relatively stable all the time to do it that way. There's a few areas that it doesn't work, but that's mainly because of the terrain mapping for this game that has very little to do with what I'm doing, to be honest. Because if you've ever played this game for any length of time, you'll know that there are certain areas you can run into and just fall through the world.
You will never have hopes
Especially if
of joining the
server
Brotherhood
stability
with
is an issue,
muscles
or
like
your
that.
internet connection is an issue. It becomes more obvious whenever they've dropped a few nukes on a server. But this is my camp. This is my Brotherhood of Steel boat. I wanted you all to get a good look at it, so you'd understand where I'm coming from when I do my ratings. I would probably rate this about an 8. I don't know what you would rate it, but that's what I would rate my own camp, is about an 8. I have very few camps that I would rate a 10. So, now I'm going to show you some other camps on this server, and we're going to see if anybody else has anything that's, well, on par or better than what I've just shown you. But that means finding some camps, and there aren't a lot on here that I
This
can see at the
camp's
moment.
defenses leave much
So we'll go
to
ahead
be
and switch
desired.
over to this
Are
mode where I
you
can actually look
trying
for
to get your
vendors, and that's what we'll
supplies
use to find our
stolen?
camps today. Chickasaw 2 is who we're going to go visit right now. And he's further away than I really thought about. I tend to try and keep my camps all close together when I'm doing reviews. So one, I don't have a variety of areas to deal with as far as terrain features. And there we go. Let's see now. So if you're wondering what happened right there, that is called a crash to desktop, which is very frequently happening, more so with this game than it used to. It's like every time they add a patch or it gets time to patch, the server stability tends to take a hit for some reason. The picture you just saw was in Vault 51 during the actual nuclear winter waiting area. Is one of my characters that I played with there. We are not on the same server that we were originally. I will lay odds. Nope, not even close. There's way more people on this one, which means that one's stability probably took a hit. So I'm going to jump up here to Ato's camp, and we're going to take a look at it. Again, this is not the same one that I was going to, and I'm sorry if that was your camp I was going to, but the server crashed for me at least, and I couldn't get back to it. Now this one is in the water, which isn't a big deal. As I showed you before, my character is built in the water, so it's not a real problem. Alright, let's see where we are here. That is the mall right over there. Valley Galleria. This is their vault. There's another vault right there. They have built a little platform out here for their character to live on. They obviously have some stuff from the atomic shop. I mean, you can see it right there on the floors. And these walls, or at least they played through the Mistress of Mystery quest line. This is their vendor camp, it looks like. Not much else here but a vendor. I'm guessing probably their workshops are in one of these two vaults. I'm not going to go in the vaults because that's not what I judge people on. I judge people on their camps outside. But you can do some really awesome things in vaults because you can actually turn off aspects of this game and build mechanics. It's harder to do that outside. So, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give this one about a... Well, let's be honest. I'll go with a 1. It functions as a camp in the fact that it exists. It has places to sell.
It's better than where I've
But
been.
it's really not anything special. There's nothing to make it special in any way, shape, or form. I mean, unless you go in... They have something magical in the vaults, which I'm not going to check because, in all honesty, again, it's not really what I'm doing. It's not what I'm judging things on. The fact that they have vaults is great. Everybody should have this one right here, at least. But, yeah, vaults are not my thing. Sorry. Not gonna ever be my thing. Not ever gonna be something I'm gonna really judge people on, because it's just not that. But again, this is a potatoes camp, so it is basic. Very basic. I'm going to go ahead and jump over here to Ayorus's camp. Ayorus? Ayorus? Yeah, I guess it's Ayorus's. Ayorus's camp. It is right across the street from train station, and if I remember right, it's sitting right on top of a junk node. Which, if they're smart, they'll be using it and collecting all the junk that they can, because junk nodes are the best nodes in this game, because you can get a little bit of everything from them. Especially if you have Fallout first. But this player doesn't appear to be doing that. Nope, they've got a water farm. This is one of those floating camps I was talking about earlier, you see. Yep. You got your stage here, some stuff, a few vendors. Let's see, what did their vendor thing say? Ooh, they got a lot of ammo, a few things of apparel, some mods, no plans of any kind. As you go up, yeah, this is your classic floating camp. I mean, this is better done than many and worse than some. It's not horrible, it's not great, It's not awesome by any way, shape, or form, or stretch of the imagination. It's just a camp. It's just kind of here. I'll give it a 1, just like I did the other one. The only option is that they might have built something underground here, which I'm not going to go looking for that either, because in all honesty, underground camps are not my thing either. They're cool. There's a few of them that I've been to that are really cool. I've got a person that I did a review for of one of their camps already. Took me and showed me one of their other camps after I did the review, and I talked to him about it. Ultramarine Fox, he's got a camp that's underground that you can see the actual missile in the silo from, and it is probably one of the coolest camps that I've had the pleasure of actually going to. As far as having a view and a reason to be underground, it is definitely awesome. But this one here, no, not so much. It's not horrible. It's just a 1. It was built, but that's about it. All right. Well, yeah, definitely a 1. I mean, technically, I guess maybe a 2. No, it's still. I can't give it a 2. I'd say it's a 1. It's almost as bad as using just strictly prefabs, but at least people that use prefabs try to decorate those in some fashion, usually, or have a reason for using them. This one, not so much. So, anyway, this has been Wren's Wasteland Camp Reviews / Dumpster Fires of the Commonwealth. Haven't seen any really big dumpster fires. Well, unless you count, well, that could be considered one. But, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, I mainly made this video to show you what I'm basing my ratings off of. And I base everything off my own work. So, if you, enjoyed this, feel free to subscribe, like. If you didn't, dislike, leave a comment, say why you didn't like it. I'm more than happy to discuss format changes with people that actually come up with good ideas. And if you're ever in the Commonwealth, just look for me around. I'd be more than happy to help you out if you need it, or I will look at your camp if you want. Your choice. You have a good day and have fun.